Good morning, baseball fans. I want to do a quick update on my missing card from eBay. So my card actually was stolen, which was a little bummer because it was actually a bigger card that I had purchased for myself for my birthday, but also it commemorated the end of one of the projects I was working on. If you've been following my channel for many months, I've been trying to be able to build the 1948 Bowman set, and I was down to just one more card, and it was a fairly big card. It was the Yogi Berra card. So I found out, I purchased it sometime around like May 19th, paid for it, and it started shipping on the 20th, and at that point it disappeared in the tracking on eBay. And then I reached out to the seller about a week and a half later, and they reported back to me that it is likely that my card was part of a large theft that happened within the UPS system. And they were trying to file a claim for their missing cards that they sent out to buyers. And actually it was a fairly large seller. It was Greg Morris Cards. So you can imagine they sell thousands of cards every day. So that item went missing along with all the other purchases that people had made at that time that were getting sent out. Now mine needed to be able to go to eBay authentication, so it was going to have to make another stop, and it never arrived. So after about a week learning it was stolen, I was really disappointed. I filed the claim on my end too, and actually it was made right, which I never doubted that Greg Morris Cards would do that, because their reputation is excellent, and I've always had good experiences when I purchase things from them, and I highly recommend them as a seller. So I got a refund at that point, so now I'm back in the market to be able to kind of find that card to finish that set. But I'll admit that I was really disappointed. I think I would be no matter what card if I had stolen, but especially that one in particular, not just because of its value, but because of also its meaning of where it fit in my collection, and obviously who the player was itself, because it was a card that was in mid-grade for that set, which is actually a really good grade for a Hall of Fame rookie card from 1948. So there's just a lot of ways I was kind of bummed out and disappointed. But hopefully nobody else is kind of really experiencing that, and nobody else kind of has to go through with that, but it does happen. So anyway, kind of transitioning, I've been seeing some content lately on, including one of the card room lives that even Alex Bowman 53 did recently on Redmond. So it's been a little while since I pulled mine out. I don't have a lot of these cards, but I have a couple that are without tabs, and I have 3 with tabs at this point. And then also one that is a newer card that is was part of one of the Heritage releases to look like one of the Redmond cards. So I thought I'd just kind of share those quickly. The one most recently I shared is the only one they actually have encased, and that's the 1953 Stan Musial Redmond card, which is obviously a pretty phenomenal card. Sorry about the glare right there. You can see the reflection from the camera itself, but this is a 53 edition. It's got the full tab on it, which is the way I really like the cards, because I like them kind of in completion, their entirety. So that was actually one of the big cards I was able to pick up this last month, and I'm really happy to have it as a Stan Musial collector. Some other ones I've had in my collections with the tabs, and I've had these for a few years. I picked these up on vacation at a card shop up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It was the early win from 1952. So it's got the red back. I know the 53's got yellow. I'm not sure what other colors they picked for the subsequent years, but I just love the way this one looks and matches obviously the team name on the uniform itself. Just a really pretty edition of the card. Mine's got the slightest crease in there, and because of the price of grading oversized cards, I've kind of been really reluctant to do it because of that. But at some point I'd like to be able to kind of have that in case to go with the other ones with the tabs, at least the Hall of Famers. And the other one I have that's got the tab is the 1954 Bob Lemon, all part of the same purchase. I do regret not buying the whole box that I saw at that time, which these were the 2 Hall of Famers that were in it, and the rest were commons, and they all had the tab. And they were pretty reasonably priced at that point, so I kind of regret not picking them all up. So I got a couple of Indians there, a couple of Cleveland players. Then I have a couple without the tabs. One that I picked up pretty recently at a card show, Robin Roberts. I think this is a 1954 edition of it, as I kind of read it on the back. Part of the reason I like it with the tab is you don't have to look at the back to see what year it is, and you don't have to be really knowledgeable of the backgrounds to kind of know what year it is. Although I know a lot of people are, so I don't know what the previous backgrounds had on the Robin Roberts card. And the last one I have is Billy Pierce. This one I picked up at a local card show too. It's also missing the tab. And this one is also a 1953 on the back. So that's what I have. And the other one I mentioned is one of the Heritage products. And it was one of the Bowman Heritage products of like the early 2000s. Had a box topper that was these Redmond cards. So they were modern players made to look like Redmond cards. Now, they're kind of cool because of the way they're kind of like designed and paying homage to it, but they obviously don't look like the Redmond cards. Obviously, these weren't made in the same way those cards were in the 1950s. But the one I picked up was Albert Pujols on there. So looks pretty cool. It doesn't talk about on the back getting a redemption for tabs for a hat or anything like that. And obviously doesn't mention chewing tobacco whatsoever on there. In fact, it just talks about having 25 different oversized cards. They're not expensive whatsoever, so they're ones that if I were ever to go after, it'd probably be easy to be able to pick up the set. I don't know if Jeter's got a card in the set, but that would probably be like the other one I might want to go after. And that's a guy I do pick up in my collection. But hope you guys enjoyed that. That's all I wanted to share with you today and just give you an update on that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.